Okay, so I assume you went through the product rule. So now we're going to go through the next one called the quotient rule. The quotient in mathematics means divide. All right, so in mathematics, quotient means division. When working with exponents, the bases must be the same. So that's the same as the product rule. All right, when working with properties of exponents, we've got to make sure those bases are the same if we want to apply any of these rules. Now, if the bases are the same, then we keep that base. But as you remember previously, when we were applying the product rule, if the bases were the same, then we added the exponents. Well, here, the quotient rule, if the bases are the same, you subtract the exponents. Okay, so we're going to apply that. So let's look at some examples we have here. So, on your sheet, you have some examples, and I made a couple more than what are on the sheet. So let's identify what we're doing here. Now, are we being asked to use division? Yes. A fraction, this line, also means division, divide. So can we apply the quotient rule? Well, we need to check. All right, they're asking us to divide. That line means that. Are the bases the same? Are the bases the same? The bases are. They are the 4s. That's the big number that holds up the little exponent. So they are the same. So we can apply the quotient rule. And how do we do that? If the bases are the same, then the base remains. And you subtract the exponent. So, the base is the same, we're going to keep that. It's going to remain the same. We're not going to change that base. But now, we need to subtract these. 6 minus 4. And when we apply that, that gives us a 2. So our final answer is going to be 4 squared. Not asking you to solve it any further. That's all we're doing is applying that rule. Let's go to the next one. 2 to the 6th power over 2 to the negative 4 power. Are the bases the same? The bases are. The 2's are the base. They are the big number. So can we apply our rules? They're asking us to divide because it's a fraction. The bases are the same, so we can apply the quotient rule. So the base will remain, and we will subtract the exponents. So the 2, the base, will remain, and we're going to subtract these exponents. 6 minus, this is a negative 4. Just because it's 6 minus 4, don't assume you do 6 minus 4. No, 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 no. It's 6 minus negative 4. That bottom number is a negative 4. So take note of that. That bottom number is a negative 4. So 6 minus a negative 4. And the rule here is a negative and a negative. There's an imaginary 1 right here between this. So we have to get this out of the parentheses. So we're going to multiply that. A negative times a negative. I have this little thing that I use. And it's an upside down peace sign here. Or it's a peace sign. And for multiplication and division only. Multiplication and division only. We're multiplying a negative and a negative. So we're multiplying a negative and a negative, then our answer is going to be positive. So this is going to be a positive 4. Negative 1 times negative 4 makes a positive 4. Okay, there's an imaginary 1 right there. And we got to pull that out of the parenthesis. So now this is 6 plus 4. And that's going to give us a total of 10. So our final answer is 2 to the 10th power. Let's look at that again. Our quotient rule was subtract the exponents. So that's 6 minus a negative 4. 6 minus a negative 4. To get that parentheses to go away, we have to distribute imaginary negative 1 times a negative 4. Negative times a negative gives us a positive 4. Now parentheses are gone. We can add 6 plus 4 and gives us a 10. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So here we have some letters and some exponents. So can we apply the product rule? Well, let's look at our first one. Our base here is going to be an A and an A. Okay, those bases are the same. And the base over here is a B, and this one is a B. So the bases are the same. So we can apply these rules. And that rule was, if the bases are the same, we keep the base, and we subtract the exponents. So we're going to keep the same base. So let's go ahead and write down our A. Let's work on the A. This is 5 minus, oh, there's nothing there. I remember saying in the first video that there's an imaginary 1. Remember that when we had that first answer of 4m to the 1 power? So there's an imaginary 1 right here. We just don't like to write more than we have to in math. So if you need to, go ahead and write that. And now go ahead and apply. 5 minus 1. Okay, and that would give us a total of 4. So our answer for this is 8 to the 4th power. Okay, now let's work on our B. And for the B, we're going to subtract 3 minus a negative 2. That's a negative 2. 3 minus a negative 2, just like we did previously. What do we need to do? We need to add that little imaginary 1 in here and distribute to get rid of those parentheses. So a negative times a negative is a positive, and a negative 1 and a negative 2 is going to make it a positive 2. So now our answer is going to be 3 plus 2. Parentheses are gone. Add those together. That gives us a total of 5. So our answer is B to the 5th power. So let's clean this up a little bit. So our answer here is going to be A to the 4th power. And this one here is going to be B to the 5th power. So your answers should be A to the 4th power, B to the 5th power. Okay, let's go to this last one. 2 to the 4th power divided by 4 to the 4th power. All right, so keep our base the same. Oh, wait. Which one's our base? Oh, our base is the big number, a 2 and a 4. They are not the same. The exponents are the same, a 4 and a 4, but it doesn't work that way. The bases must be the same. So this cannot be applied. We cannot apply the quotient rule. This can be solved, but I'm not asking you to solve it. I'm just asking you to apply these rules. So as far as this assignment goes, you cannot apply the rule here because the bases are not the same. So you would write in your answer, can't apply. All right, I'm not going to write everything out because I'm writing with a mouse, but you could just write it out. Can't apply, bases are different, and maybe identify which ones are the bases, the 2 and the 4. The 2 and the 4 are different. They are the bases. I can't apply the quotient rule. Okay, so now Hopefully that helped a lot. You can come down now on your you do section of your sheet, and you've already hopefully done the product rule. Now work on the quotient rule section and pay attention to negative and positives. Pay attention to what number is the base and what number is the exponent. Remember, the big number is the base. The little number is the exponent. And if there is no number above the base, there's an imaginary 1 there.